Are y'all still here with us? Good, because it's about to get real. On part 3, we're going to talk about the other side of pregnancy and emotional trauma between boy and girl. This is the after effects of having sex. So, of course, before sex, there's a relationship. But is it a healthy relationship? So with that being said, what is a healthy relationship?
Healthy relationships. So I think that it's pivotal that you evaluate what a healthy relationship is. And we speak so much about where we come from, but even in every household in America, what does the relationship look like that you're closest to, that you grow up in a household with, right? And so you got 3 aspects of a healthy relationship: the mental, the verbal, and the physical, right? And so oftentimes where we come from, you get your mom, the mom be upset, she fussing. It can be a lot of verbal abuse. You know, in my household, my mom, she said a few things, but that made me stronger at the end. But you got that form of verbal abuse. So I may go out in the world, get with a young lady, young woman, and I'm thinking like, oh man, I just tell her whatever, this is gonna make her skin tough. Yeah. But she may not be receptive of that. Yeah. Right? And so you roll that into the mental abuse part, like I'm manipulating you and I'm guilt tripping you. Yeah. Right? So is that something that you can speak to, or do you know someone who's ever been like manipulated as far as like guilt tripping, like the mental abuse piece?
Know someone. I am someone.
Wow.
I mean, of course, yeah, because it tends to not be a bitch or, you know, the degrading terms. It tends to not be a fist to the face, you know, so early. Now, some cases it is, but, you know, in a sense, okay, now she found out that I was cheating. I was dealing with the other girl too. You know, you won't play on my top. Right. That's what they say. Right. You know, so now you trying to manipulate me. And, well, you know my daddy went there. You know that I had a hard time. You know I had this, I had that going on. You gonna leave me? So you just gonna leave me? Right. You ain't gonna hold it down. Yeah. You ain't gonna, you know I need you.
Abandonment.
That's mental abuse. Right. That's not just being deceitful. That's mental abuse. Yeah. Because you're abusing me. Yeah. You're literally intentionally doing things to make me stay while you be toxic, while you do me any kind of way. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of those things that I don't think we've come to terms with. Right. We don't think that that's mental abuse. We think that that's him just running game. But no. It's deeper. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And so you got mind manipulation, and then you got a person with, like I said, with words. I know I can say this to get her back. I know I can say this to get her to move here. Yeah. And then, like, because not often two times you see young youth, young teens, young mothers, they think that, you know, just, oh, he just physically abusing me or just putting hands on it. Nah. Somebody running game on you, manipulating you, telling you what you want to hear, all these things to big you up. Like we talked about, that's why you got to have your self-confidence, your self-love. But let's fast forward. So let's say, boom, you skip all those things, you wind up getting pregnant at an early age. Yeah. Where are we now? Like, is life over with?
One may think so. At the beginning, I'm talking about I cried. Okay. I cried, and it was hard. And it took a lot of family members to gather around me and to let me know that life still goes on. Girl, you still going to tech in September. Like, the baby gonna be here. You still gonna do everything that you need to do. You have this million of people that's surrounding you, they got your back, that's gonna push for you to keep being great. Yeah. You know, so it's not the end of the road. You know, now of course it makes it harder because not only in the aspect of you don't have any support, you ain't got nobody to watch your kids, things of that nature, because I had all of that available to me, but I chose to, well, no, I guilt tripped myself because I'm a mother now. I shouldn't be going to parties. I'm a mother now. I shouldn't be doing it. I need to stay at home with my child. Even though my mama is encouraging me to keep being an 18-year-old, keep being a 17-year-old, I done jumped into mommy mode because that's natural for a lot of us. You know, so it's not the end of the road. You can still do everything that you need to do. Now, of course, plan A may not go. You may not be moving on campus with your friends. Y'all might not be going 4 ways on an apartment.
Turn down.
Y'all might not be doing the things that you initially said that you were gonna do, but it's still feasible. Okay. You know, like I said, a little bit harder. It's gonna be a little bit difficult, but it's still feasible. It's not the end of the road.
Yeah, and I think that even speaking from a young guy standpoint, when you do often slip into pregnancy and you have that young child, don't pigeonhole yourself. I mean, and don't put a lot of pressure on yourself either with trying to be the man.
Yeah.
And I'll speak to this. I think that you're not a man until you're able to handle pressure. You're not a man when everything is going right. You're not a man when things are going your way. You're a man when you're emotionally stable when something is going wrong. And I think that that's a big up, and that's what the root to manhood should and is. Putting your hands on a woman is never, ever okay. And it's never, ever okay for a woman to put her hands on a man as well. But you have to have emotional stability and self-control. If you do have a partner that you're working with and you guys get into it and it becomes physical, somebody has to detach, right? Because too often and more times, the man going to jail.
Because, I mean, but even if he don't, because like we talked about, there's love for some women.
Right.
You know, but when I was dating this guy, I was like 14 or something like that. He used to always say, if I got a beat you, I don't need you. And of course, he was kidding with me because I'm not that type of girl. But seriously, that stuck with me for so many years, like even up till now, because that's true. If you in a situation where every time you turn around, this person is bringing you out of character, got you acting a fool, got you, you know, y'all gotta argue, y'all gotta do this, you gotta be a worse version of yourself just to get the type of result or reaction that you want from this person. It's not healthy. It's not something that you need to be taking part in. Because, okay, so what happens when we see the girl who set the truck on fire, the Jeep on fire, right? So she poured the gasoline in it and she put the lighter in there. I'm thinking, she thinking it's just gone, you know, it's gonna slowly go up. Like, no, it boomed her. You know what I'm saying? She could have killed herself.
Burning Brenda.
She could have killed herself trying to get back at this man because he didn't push you to such limits. Yes. You know what I'm saying? He didn't push you to where you feel like you got to do this because he hurt your feelings so bad that you even end up hurting yourself.
There you go. And I think that often happens too often with us guys. We get so emotional. And when we talk about that game not working or the sex is not working, then we want to put our hands on it because we want to control it.
Yeah.
But instead of just being self-disciplined and leading and learning how to be a man, how to be supportive for the woman that you're with, because different women have different love languages.
Yeah.
Everybody, some women do like gifts. Some women like to be held. Some women like to talk. Some women like to have knowledge poured into them. You got to understand your situation. And so it's pivotal. I encourage you guys to go out there and do the love language quiz when you guys get together, because it'll give you a great rubric for how to love the person that you're with.
Because also a common misconception with love languages is, okay, so my love language, hypothetically, my love language is gift giving, and your love language is acts of service, or we'll change it to physical touch.
There you go.
I can't expect you to have the same kind of reaction when I give you a Rolex, because your love language is physical touch. You would rather a hug. Not that you're not going to be excited by the Rolex, but you may not get that same reaction from your partner that you're expecting because that's not their love language. You have to know yours, know theirs, and love them in their love language. That's another thing that I think we kind of miss key points on, because, well, you know, I know what it is, but do you really act on it? Do you really know how to use it? You know, things of that nature. So that's deep.
After the pregnancy occurs, I think it's important that you guys have a roadmap to success. I don't think that you guys should sit around waddling, and like you said, life still kind of goes on. Mm-hmm. So me speaking from a guy standpoint, I think it's pivotal, man, that you sit down and you take your time to understand where you're going, where you have to go for your family. And even if you decide not to be with that woman, the child didn't ask to be in the world, so you got to do your best duties. So what would you say from a woman's standpoint on the road to success?
I think that's very true. Like I said, it's not the end of the world, but you have to reroute sometimes, you know. So of course with me, I'll just go with my story. You know, initially I went on a campus tour with my friends, you know, and I was pregnant at this time, but I still had the plan that, okay, I'm gonna keep my baby with my mama, you know, she up for that, you know, and we still gonna move in together. But no, when I had my baby and I jumped into mommyhood, it was, no, that's not what's best for the kid. I need to stay at home. I'm gonna stay off campus, but I'm gonna still commute to school and do what I have to do as far as that goes. Okay, well, I know I'm not gonna be able to be a full-time mom, a full-time student, and work a full-time job, but the baby still has to be taken care of, and daddy is in school as well. So, okay, with these refund checks that I'm getting, I got a budget. I gotta know what to spend, how to spend. Now, I don't have any bills, I don't have a car, any of that, so I don't have to pay for any of that, but I still have to put my responsibilities on the forefront. Know how to start saving, know what to do, how to appropriate funds, you know? So it's just like you said, it's actually coming up with a plan as to divide and conquer. How you still gonna get to the goal that you initially had set without the same route to get there.
That's it. And so with that being said, join us next Fire Live event as we talk about and take a deep dive into the road to success. What's going on, guys? What a journey it's been. I mean, man, we're right here giving you stellar information. So in our previous subject, if you missed, we talked about pregnancy. We talked about healthy relationships. We talked about verbal miscommunications. We talked about mental abuse, and we talked about physical abuse. But I want to say to you guys out there, some things that you go through at home may not be normal. Never be afraid to have a therapist, or even ask your parents for therapy, or ask anyone for therapy, just to put yourself on the right track. Do not come across the stigma and thinking that having a therapist means you're crazy. We all go through things. And so we got the Most High, and we need people that we need to talk to decompress and unpack some things. Hurt people, and that's something that we don't want to put out in our world. It's been said that when you ask a young man, show me the way that you treat your women, and I can show you what you represent in your culture. And so with that being said, let's do better. 4-part series coming at you, last and final part. See you guys soon.